Castlevania for the NES. I'm only 19, but my family was poor growing up, so I had to play with my older brother's hand-me-downs, meaning NES, SNES, and Atari 2600 games, until I was a teenager. So I've had this game my entire life, but I was never able to beat it. Until now, that is. Everything I'm going to explain here is from my own personal experience playing this game throughout the years and recently. From the first minute you start playing, if you're an experienced gamer like I am, you'll immediately know what the difficulty in this game is. It's the fucking controls. Unlike similar games like Ninja Gaiden, your jumping direction is set the second you press the button, and your main attack, the whip, is delayed, so you have to input your attack in advance. But just like Ninja Gaiden, your life bar is practically useless for most of the levels, because the only times you die are when you get hit into a pit. Also like Ninja Gaiden, you have a plethora of weapons or items to choose from, which are used by holding up and attacking. You can get level 2 and 3 upgrades for each weapon that'll let you use 2 and 3 of them at a time. You have this, which is long enough to call a sword, but you throw it, so I'll call it a throwing knife. It uses 1 heart, and yes, hearts are your ammunition, not health, and seemingly does half the damage of your max whip. There's the axe, which also uses 1 heart, and when used you throw it in an arc, doing about as much damage as your max whip, but maybe more. But while it's useful in certain scenarios, in fact most useful for the first boss, if you try to use it in normal locations you'll almost always miss and end up taking more hits than necessary trying to aim the bastard. There's also the crucifix, which uses 1 heart, and when used you throw it forward. It can hit multiple enemies and it always comes back to you like a boomerang. Yeah, that's right. It's a cross that also works as a boomerang. Something that weird is common on old school consoles, but you never see anything like it in current gen games.
Awesome.
The latest thing like it I know of is the machete in Postal 2, and that game's hardly meant to be taken seriously. Anyway, it does as much damage as your max whip it seems, and since it hits usually at least twice, that alone makes it way better than the axe and throwing knife in most situations. You can also avoid catching it when it comes back if you want to hit enemies behind you or something. Then there's the holy water. This is what you'll want to use for most of the game. It uses 1 heart, and when you use it, you throw it on the ground, creating a fire somehow. Not only does it do decent damage, and hit multiple times when timed optimally, but it also freezes enemies, and when you have level 2 or 3 upgrade, if you use it as much as possible, they won't ever be able to move. It's imperative that if you have holy water, you avoid other items like the plague, but sometimes you're just forced to pick up other items, and that really fucking blows. If you pick up another item, not only do you lose your holy water, which is just about essential for most bosses, you'll also lose all your level upgrades. The item you pick up might as well be a noose because you'll want to hang yourself when you do it. And last but not least, we have the watch. Unlike the other items, it uses 4 hearts, and when you use it... Sorry, I couldn't help myself. And the joke especially works because it only lasts a couple of seconds. You'll usually want to avoid it, mostly because it doesn't work on bosses, but at least it's better than the weapon you get from Flashman in Mega Man 2, because it doesn't drain all your ability and you can attack while using it. I don't care enough to test whether it works with upgrades, but even if they did, they probably wouldn't be very useful for it anyway. As for your whip, it has 2 upgrades. The first one increases the damage of it, and the second one increases the length. You'll need both of them at all times if you actually want to win. You find all these weapons, ammunition for the weapons, and your whip upgrades by whipping candles that are everywhere for some reason. They also drop from slain enemies sometimes. You can sometimes find the rosary, I guess? That'll make the screen flash and kill every enemy on screen, and a potion that makes you not take any damage for like 1 nanosecond. This shit is practically useless, and you barely even see them, so I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. Speaking of useless shit, there's bags of money too, which I'm pretty sure don't do anything other than increase your score. Yeah, that's really useful. As for refilling your health, you find chicken hidden in the wall by whipping in the right places. It heals you for about half your health. The level 2 and 3 upgrades for your weapons are usually hidden in the walls as well, but very rarely they can be a drop. Now we've got all that out of the way, let's play the game. The first level is a breeze, so if you die here, then you definitely need some practice. The boss is a shitty looking bat that goes down pretty fast if you spam the axe after getting the level 2 upgrade over on the right. When the boss dies, an orb comes, and touching the orb beats the level. The game's pretty linear, and there's only 6 levels. The second level is also pretty simple, but it's still far harder than the first. There also seems to be a lot of wall chicken. Or maybe I just suck at finding them in other levels. This level introduces the Medusa heads, which are infamous for being pieces of shit. They're hard to hit and they're hard to dodge. You gotta get into a rhythm to fight them, or avoid them. Oh great, an upgrade I can't use. I didn't mention it earlier, but you can actually destroy enemy projectiles before they hit you, and sometimes they can drop upgrades, which is really convenient, especially later, but I'll go into more detail then. These traps will kill you in one hit, regardless of your HP. You can crouch under this one and not get hit, but if you're standing straight up, then you'll die. I'd like to say I recorded these deaths on purpose to show you, but these things are actually kinda hard to avoid if you have brain damage like me. The boss is a Medusa head. This one's very different from the regular enemies though, although it's still not very tough, even without items. However, if you have Holy Water 2 or higher, then like I said before, you can freeze her for life. Moving on to level 3, we have more asshole Medusa heads. You also get 2 new enemies, these skeleton cunts that never seem to run out of bones to throw at you, and the birds. Christ, the birds. This level is when the game ramps up the difficulty. It's way harder than the first 2 levels, and rightfully so since we're almost halfway through. There seems to not be as many wall chickens, or at least I didn't find any. Although I did find a level 3 upgrade for my holy water right away. You can probably tell that I used save states this time, but so I don't waste as much time playing this game, and so I can showcase the bosses with Holy Water 3. Yeah, you heard that right. This level has 2 of them. I assure you though, before recording this footage I played through the game fairly, but rather than record using my console, it's a lot easier using an emulator. Anyway, the real difficulty in this level is how many enemies you have to focus on at once, in this part particularly. At first it's pretty easy, you can just kill the birds before fighting the tower thing, whatever it is. I mean, provided you can kill the birds. But at the end it gets super fucking annoying trying to dodge Medusa heads and bullets at the same time. Fuck! The bosses for this level are way harder without holy water. In fact, they're just about impossible. Let me tell you from experience. Alright, level 4 time. The beginning is really easy. Okay, it's kinda easy. Fine, it's easier than the rest. The fish dudes from level 1 are back with a vengeance. This time they have cheat codes. No clipping motherfuckers. They also have big birds carrying midgets. Yeah, that's a thing. They're pretty fucking annoying, but not too hard to deal with if your timing is good. These dragon, snake, skeleton, whatever things are a pain in my ass. But the clock is a really good counter to them, provided you can stop time in the right spots. Also, where the fuck is all the wall chicken? Am I just too stupid to find any? What the hell is this? Is this a fucking joke? The game's just fucking with me at this point. And this boss. Holy hell, this boss. He might be easier with holy water, I don't know. When I played this game before making this video, it didn't give me too much trouble. Maybe it's the controller or something, but this boss is really fucking kicking my ass. I tried not using save states. I tried using them. I'm still getting my ass shredded. Wait, there is wall chicken? Okay, I'll just kill all the bone dragon things and go back and get it. Oh yeah, I forgot, enemies respawn. Hold on, why isn't this fucker dying? I must have hit him 1,000,000 times, what the fuck? Okay, now he's dead. This game really is fucking with me. I'm guessing the boss is supposed to be Frankenstein's monster and the hunchback Igor. So why is Igor a way bigger pain in the ass than Frankenstein's monster? I really didn't know he was this spry. Anyway, try your best to focus on the big dude and dodge Igor when you can, and you'll beat him eventually. Probably. Level 5. Right off the bat, more hunchbacks. They're especially annoying when you die because you don't start with any whip upgrades. When I played without save states, I suicided on these guys till game over if I got hit by them too many times. These bone assholes are even more assholey in this level. God damn it. Fine, just fucking run into it! That's actually a really good strategy that I used a lot during this level. Especially on the dreaded Corridor of Death. More on that later. With this stage, Holy Water 2 is practically mandatory. You know, if you can beat this game without using holy water, you've probably ascended beyond the realm of humanity. And I'm sure there are people who've done it. But for me, getting this axe is a death sentence. Fuck. Here you can poke your head out and wail on this tower without worrying about getting hit. Just kill it fast before the red skeleton gets ya. There's also some wall chicken before the fuck zone, and believe me, you'll need it. This part is commonly referred to as the hardest non-boss part of the game, and the fact that you have to replay it each time you die to the boss is infuriating. It's enough to make less determined players quit, but me, I just make sure I bring Holy Water 3. Like I demonstrated before, just throw the holy water and walk away. Dumbass will run right into it. Repeat for the next one. It's not that hard to beat this area without holy water, but you'll fuck up enough times that you'll realize you have to go back for it. Especially when you meet the boss. Yep, it's fucking Death himself. And unless you have holy water too, you'll be seeing him a lot. I can't stand this fucker. There's nothing you can do against this cunt without holy water. His scythes do all the work, and you'll be dodging them so much you won't be able to attack the swords. When you think about it, this game must have been a big inspiration for Binding of Isaac. But when you have Holy Water 3, it's ridiculous how easy it is. And I'm glad, otherwise I might not have been able to get past him on my first playthrough. Here we go, on to the final level, level 6. Remember the boss from level 1? Yeah, well there's a million of them now. Don't even bother fighting them. Just try to outmaneuver them. It's harder than it looks. Fuck! Asshole! These skeletons are fucking cocksuckers. Good luck getting past this part without your holy water. Now there's a bunch of clock gears. Fuck. And more of those hunchback carrying birds. Again, don't bother fighting anything, just take the hits and move on. Which is easier said than done. Man, I don't know what my problem was here. I really got fucked up. It didn't take me this long in my last playthrough, and that was without save states. Well anyway, after that nonsense, just a little bit to go and you're at Dracula. Well fuck that heart. Not like I'll use it anyway. Dracula's first phase is a pain. You've got to get your timing down just right. What I did was I butted heads with him without stocking up on anything for hours, until I was comfortable taking down his first form with little or no damage taken. 4 hits kill you, by the way. Some bullshit. One good thing about this fight is that if you game over, it doesn't take you back to the start, which is nice. I wish that happened in Ninja Gaiden. Fuck, that game is unforgiving. Might do a video on that in the future. Another game I haven't beaten. Whenever you feel like you've got the pattern down for the first form, then you can start stocking up on hearts by going down the stairs. Just try not to fall off. Happened to me a couple times. Good thing I have save states this time, so it'll be less of a hassle. The second form of Dracula can suck my fat fucking cock. It must have taken me 10 to 20 tries on my first playthrough before I realized that destroying his projectiles could sometimes give you the level 2 upgrade, and 10 to 20 more tries trying to replicate it. And that was without save states, so I had to grind hearts for 2 to 3 minutes before each attempt. But once you do get the Holy Water 2, he's a piece of cake. Just keep spamming it like half the other bosses and he goes down eventually. Thank God. Well, there you have it. That was Castlevania on the NES. A very well-made game. One of the best games the NES has to offer. Stupid challenging, but not too unforgivingly difficult. Just the perfect amount of difficulty to keep you playing. Most of the bosses are too easy with Holy Water 2, but that's my own fault for using it, I guess. Maybe one of these days I might come back to do it with the no Holy Water. God, wouldn't that be impossible? Well, I hope you had a good time watching my failures, because this was the most work I've ever done for a video. I'm gonna play Castlevania 2 next, and since I never had the game, or Castlevania 3 for that matter as a kid, it's gonna be completely blind. If I ever beat it, I might make a video on it, so stay tuned for that, I guess. Thanks for watching.